Thank you for joining Navigating the Truth. And today, my guest is Lisa Harrison. It's May 7th, 2023, and we will be talking about Lisa's journey. And sit back and enjoy.
We interrupt to bring you this.
We've hijacked your daily dose of regurgitated news to bring you Navigating the Truth. Brace yourself, listeners, as you're about to enter a world where the narrative is no longer masqueraded as the truth. A world where the conspiracies of yesterday's translate into the truths of today.
Are you listening?
The veils covering the truth are lifting, and understandings once suppressed are finally being revealed. Will you be ready? And now, your host and navigator through these circles of lies, the host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome to Navigating the Truth on Sunday, the 7th of May. And it is evening here in Scotland, but the sun is still shining. It is morning in Las Vegas, and it is the middle of the night for my guest, who I'm very grateful is actually joining us. I'd like to thank the listeners for listening in. Thank you very much if you've chose to listen into today's show. My website is souliam.org. There is a donate button on KCOR Radio. If you enjoy what you're hearing, click that donate button. There are many, many great shows here with wonderful hosts, and there is also the Dark Vault if you are interested in a monthly. And with that said, I am going to read the bio for my guest. And my guest today is Lisa M. Harrison. Lisa M. Harrison began her online career in 2009, interviewing individuals on the subject of ascension, 2012. Spiritually, natural healing, geopolitics, black projects, and our secret history, among others. Interviewees included David Icke, Andrew Basiago, US presidential candidate for 2016, John Lash, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Max Ian, Michael Tsarion, and many, many more. Lisa has spent most of her life on her own personal spiritual journey, over which time she has had many breakthroughs, insights, and experiences that have led her to a greater understanding of the nature of our reality. Lisa came to the conclusion that we are living in a holographic virtual reality. In 2016, something remarkable happened. A being from outside this reality made contact with Lisa, a being she subsequently named Leeloo, after the character in Fifth Element movie. I love that. Leeloo confirmed many of these understandings about our reality, but also provided much more information about our history, current situation, and potential future. Lisa's relationship with Leeloo and others from home is ongoing. And I'd like to take this opportunity to welcome Lisa. Welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. Thank you
This is
much for having me. I know it's the middle of the night, but
I know you're on your second cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Thank you. No, I know it's the middle of the night. You'd just be rolling on your other side, but you have chosen to join us today, and I am very appreciative of it, and I'm sure the listeners are as well. And I'm going to just dive in here. What got you into all this?
I think, like many people who consider themselves spiritually awake, when you come in here, even as a small child, you know that something isn't right. And, I used to always describe it like I felt like I got off the wrong bus stop.
I can relate.
This isn't what I came for. And was always somewhat of an intuitive kid.
Mm-hmm.
By the time I was in my teens, I was, looking into what was called conspiracy theories and questioning. By the time I hit my mid-20s, I was so what do you call it? So suspicious, I think,
Mm.
of the way the world worked. And at some point, you have to put all that down, walk away, in order to actually truly be here. And which I did, and had a family. And but by 2009, I'd come across the Mayan calendar information in the 90s,
Mm-hmm.
all about 2012. And back then, it felt like so far away.
Mm-hmm.
But come 2009, there was something within me that was just yearning. There was a deep, deep knowing that I was not, that there was something I was supposed to be doing that I wasn't doing. And I was very happy in the life that I had. I was a full-time mum to 3 kids, and that was very fulfilling for me and had been for quite some time. But this feeling would not go away. And I sort of ended up in tears on my knees one night, just yelling and screaming at the universe to please show me what it is I'm supposed to do so I can get rid of this feeling. And without even really trying, or like it being a very conscious choice in terms of an answer to that plea, I started doing interviews because I was looking for information in regards to this 2012 thing, because we were now facing it. Was there anything really to it? And that just flowed. It was the easiest thing I think I've ever done. People just said yes.
Cool.
Without even really knowing why they were saying yes to this completely unknown Australian chick. And it went from there. And that led to radios and blog talks and regular YouTubes and different shows, which I continue to do today. But in saying all of that, I went down so many different rabbit holes.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember in 2015 when the whole flat earth thing hit. And I did an interview on that. Somebody sent me a video of a flat earth video and said, okay, can you please watch this? Because either I'm crazy or there's something to it. So I watched it and I went, well, it looks like we're both crazy because it looks like there is something to it.
Yeah.
But going down that particular rabbit hole led me to the whole holographic universe concept, which I hadn't heard of before. And the more I looked into that aspect, whether it was down quantum physics or people's near-death experiences or whichever way I approached it, it kept bringing me back to the same answer, which is, yeah, this is a holographic virtual game construct. And once I really allowed myself to go there, it made a lot of my own personal spiritual experiences make sense too.
Yeah.
It just made other things make sense. And that's where I ended up.
That's where you ended up. Yeah. And you interviewed some really interesting people. And I have watched some of the videos that you did with your interviews. And it was like a case of, you had a whole bunch of questions for them. Like it was a case of, I actually recently listened to the one with Michael Tsarion. And I mean, it is like a big puzzle. And there were so many pieces out there that seemed unrelated. Like, this is just my opinion. And I congratulate you for stepping up and interviewing all these people.
Well, that's the thing. Like, even even all the people that I interviewed in regards to 2012, no one had it right in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But they all had a piece. And when you put it together inside the context of holographic reality, then those pieces actually came together.
Yeah.
Same with people like Michael Tsarion or even Bruce Lipton or George Kavasilis. Or, again, when you put all of their little pieces together, only in the context for me of the way this reality works, does it all come together and make sense.
Mm-hmm. And I
Otherwise,
think that's
doesn't. Otherwise, it just doesn't.
Right. And I think it has to, like, as individuals, we have to find what resonates, what is actually making sense to us as individuals. And I think that is, I think that's the really important part about this, And yeah, thank goodness for the ones that have been the trailblazers that have been out there and putting their work out. What I have found is the real teachers for me are really not on the book tours. They've written books, but they're not like on the book tours.
No, they've self-published and they've got, you can buy the PDF version on their website and they're not signed up.
No. And there is, like, as you say, like, so many rabbit holes, so much disinformation. Like, I really wasn't aware of just how much disinformation was out there until more recently, like I would say in the past couple of years. Like I was the same. I was a conspiracy theorist. I grew up in a family of conspiracy theorists. Like, we all didn't believe the narrative for JFK, like we didn't believe the thing about the weather balloons being UFOs. Like, we were always, like, I was kind of raised in a kind of suspicious kind of, and also I was a weird kid. I was a really kind of strange. I always saw things that other people weren't seeing. So it was very, very, very interesting. And I'm so glad that doors open for you. Like, they seem to open relatively easy, the way that you described, like you just asked people to.
They really did. Like, it was a shock. I mean, I was coming from a place of just doing my own research again, back into that, okay, we're heading up to 2012. What can I find? And getting frustrated because the interviewers were just not asking the questions I had.
Yeah.
Or they were letting perfect pearls drop and just leaving them. And so, oh my God, you didn't follow that up. How could you not follow that up? And you didn't pick that up. Why didn't you pick that up? So I thought the only way I'm going to get these questions that I have answered is if I ask them myself. How am I going to get these people to talk to me? I guess I just have to offer to record and release and see if that helps. And one after another said yes. And many of them said to me, even people like Lisa Renee, who was quite a big name at the time, and I'd had one or two interviews under my belt, and she said that her guides told her that she had to say yes to me. George Kavasilis said the same thing, but he was also excited that finally another Australian was going to talk to him. And even Bruce Lipton, who normally would do, back then anyway, big names. He said yes, just for the hell of it. And so I don't think I had a no. Like, it was crazy.
Did you write down the questions that you had for them? Like, did you have like a whole list?
Mostly I would go and do a lot of research. I would watch if they already had a lot of material out, I would watch a lot of their videos or read a book that they'd published or something like that. If there was somebody who'd sort of just burst on the scene with one interview or one video, then I would watch that and just get all my questions in. and then, of course, allow the conversation to evolve anyway. But yes, I was quite well prepared.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it comes across. It definitely comes across. Because, as you say, there are plenty of interviews out there, but a lot of the times we're left with, why did you not ask that question?
Mm.
You know? And so, like, you stepped up and you did it, you know? And let the listeners know, you have a slew of them on YouTube. Like, you have, I don't even know how many videos you have. And it's like, you're kind of touching on just about everything. You know,
I think
like
there's about 400 or 500 videos on my YouTube.
yeah, there's a lot. There really is, and it's a good resource for people. You know, like people that are searching and looking. These are the resources that I think are necessary and important at this time. And yeah, I mean, you're not on national television, but you can be found, and that's the really good part about it. Like a lot of the times, I feel, well, this is, again, it's just my opinion. A lot of people get blacklisted, and it takes a bit of digging to even find them.
I have been a little bit shadow banned, but for the most part, no, I'm still. You do a Google search, and I'm there.
You are. You're out there. You're definitely. Yeah, you're easy to find, and the Lisa M. Harrison, you've been able to keep your name. Like mine's got hijacked multiple times. Like I think I'm on like maybe my 5th version of my website. Yeah, like
I've had that website since 2009. So
wow, that's good.
Held on to it, yeah.
That's really good. So the 2012, like once we go through 2012, what did you feel? Like what did you what was your sense about what leading up to it and what had actually occurred?
Well, I'd come to the conclusion probably by the early 2012, with all the people I'd spoken to as well, that the idea that it meant the end of the world was wrong. What it meant was my interpretation of the Mayan calendar, at least, was that it was the end of time as we knew it. And like many people, my life completely changed, turned upside down in 2013. And a lot of people had that experience. You know, long-term relationships, marriages broke up, career like massive career changes or relocations, awakening, like real dark night of the soul kind of hardcore awakening, Kundalini experiences, all that sort of thing. A lot of that happened in 2013 for people.
Yeah.
In hindsight, it was, to me, easy to look back on and see, yeah, everything actually did change at the end of 2012. By the time I was in 2016, having come to, okay, this isn't a flat versus globe discussion anymore. This is a holographic reality, and it's whatever you think it is. That's when I had the experience of being contacted, and the information and the communication clarified so much and made what I observed from 2012 make sense. It was life-changing.
Tell us a little more, like the communication. So how were you communicated with?
This is where people
forget them.
This is exactly how it happened. My husband and I got into bed one night. It was October 12, 2016. I had my computer because we were going to watch something on YouTube. And the mouse on my computer just started moving around on my screen. And I thought my computer was glitching at first. And then I realised I tried to control the mouse, and it was working against me, so to speak. And I went, oh, shit, my computer's been hacked. Slammed my computer closed and put it down and went, oh, no, this is not good. I mean, I'd been involved in so many things over the years, and I have had attention of the kind you don't want. But I thought, oh no, I've been hacked. And my husband said, well, just open it, see if there is someone there and they want to tell you something. And so I opened it up again, and sure enough, the mouse kept moving around again, and it was just clicking on things, going to YouTube, bringing up certain videos. And I was like, okay, is there someone there? What's going on? And the mouse went up and down, and I just knew that meant yes. Mm-hmm. So then it brought up the online keyboard.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow! Yeah.
Yeah, and used that to type into like the YouTube browser or the actual browser window, mm-hmm. and started bringing up images and saying hello. And so we had a conversation. And this individual claimed that they were outside the construct from what we call home or heaven, and that it was time. Now, this went on for about because I didn't want to touch my computer, mm-hmm. I had my phone with me, so I just turned my camera on and started recording what was happening. Mm-hmm. I'm like, this is insane. Yeah, good. Like, this is crazy. Mm-hmm. And after about half an hour of sort of general conversation, my phone camera went off and it would not come back on.
Oh, wow.
And the being said, no, it's no more recording. I've turned it off. And there really was an issue with my phone. I was like, I couldn't get it to work.
Wow.
And we then spoke on a much more personal level for the next 2 hours, right? Mm-hmm. And they were telling me things, and my husband things about ourselves personally that no one could know.
Wow.
And we were talking about it. It was like, okay, they have to, if this is a joke, if this is a hacker, if this is a psyop of some kind, they have to have listened to every single video I've put out since 2009.
I'm going to get you
every
to
article.
Hold it. We're coming up on our break, and it is a hard break, and I'm sorry, but we will pick it right up. And hang on to your seats, listeners. Grab your tea, grab your coffee. We will be right back.
You're listening to Navigating the Truth with Caroline Bell Tumblety, where the truth survives and the lies are exposed.
I just want to assure you that everything is under control. There's been no damage except for some temporary malfunction of the radio.
Come be a part of this awakening by joining us in chat or by calling our hotline at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230. Worldwide callers, find us on Skype at KCOR Radio.
We're pushing the ultimate frontier here. Control must be maintained.
More disinformation exposed and the truth discovered. After a word from our sponsors.
1 million miles till midnight. A story of timelines, artificial worlds, simulated races, and the galactic imprint. And the destiny of a blue world called Earth. 1 million miles till midnight, written by Solaris Blue Raven, is a journey through the mind's eye which allows the reader to surf a wave of technological and multidimensional intellect, revealing a bridge between conscious design and the truth. A multidimensional bleed-through awakens the world of artificial intelligence to set sail into the frontiers of a vast multiverse, morphing planets and terraforming ascended worlds beyond the linear programs of a fated race. 1 million miles till midnight will awaken, inspire, prepare, and enlighten one to the many multidimensional states of consciousness and worlds we reside in. With every cell and atom, we are this truth and multiverse. 1 million miles till midnight. Written by Solaris Blue Raven. Available now at Amazon.com. Don't wait. Get your copy today.
1, 2, 3, 4!
To the KCOR Digital Radio Network.
I love the way it sounds.
Love the music. I listen all day.
The future of radio is here and now.
Alien Deceptions, a suspenseful sci-fi romance thriller by Tina Marie, featuring the tantalizing Erica Jones and the mysterious Russell Hamilton. An out-of-this-world book of fiction based on years of document facts and files the government does not want you to know about, at least not yet. Alien Deceptions by Tina Marie. Available now at Amazon.com or get a signed copy at TinaMarieEntertainment.com. Get your copy now.
Change your frequency, change your life with the Lemurian Plug. The Lemurian Plug is easy to control, simple to set up, and wireless. It helps to neutralize toxins and has restorative frequencies for healing. It also helps to protect you and your family from EMFs. The Lemurian Plug is energy efficient and designed using ancient technology for a superior design. One unit can cover up to 1,000 square feet. This life-changing product is reasonably priced. And isn't your family's health worth a small investment? For more information on the miraculous effects of this plug or to purchase the Lemurian Plug, visit thelemurianplug.com. That's thelemurianplug.com. The Lemurian Plug is like nothing you've ever experienced. Order yours today.
Vegas, baby!
Vegas' #1 source for talk and new music.
How cool is that?
Going live in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Navigating the Truth, the one show that peels back the masks of the elite and exposes the truth we're not being told.
Here to warn you. You must not abuse the power you've been given. Eventually, you will lose control of that power and the whole world will suffer.
Come partake in the awakening by calling the show at 702-425-9230. That's 702-425-9230.
Give us a call now.
Those around the world, connect with us on Skype at KCOR Radio. Follow us on Twitter at KCOR Radio or use hashtag KCOR. Come engage in the discussion live in our chat room at www.kcorradio.com.
Our survival depends upon it.
Now, back to examining the narratives and uncovering the truth with your host of Navigating the Truth, Caroline Bell Tumblety. Caroline Bell Tumblety.
Hi, welcome back to Navigating the Truth, and it is Sunday, and I'd like to thank the listeners who have chosen to listen in. And if there's any questions, you can type them in the chat, or the telephone number is up on the KCOR Radio website. And today, I have a fantastic guest. I have Lisa Harrison, and we were just in the middle of, you had been contacted with beings from outside this construct, and they had communicated for half an hour, and then for 2 hours it went into a deeper, more personal, and you and your husband were witnessing it, and you also had your phone where you were recording it, and then your phone shut down, and it was basically communicated to you that there would be no more recording.
Mm-hmm. Because they were about to get personal.
They were about to get personal.
Mm.
Wow. So what happened? Like after the 2 hours, like,
Well,
what happened?
During the 2 hours, it was us trying to figure out what this could be. You know, and it's like, okay, this could just be some hacker in their mum's basement with nothing better to do. This could be agency or multiple, because it was very sophisticated. It's some sort of AI program, or it's what it says it is. And as I was saying before the break, like what they knew, it was like they had to have watched everything I've ever put out, read everything I've ever put out, been listening via the only devices we had, and still have actually, are a computer and a phone. So they must have been listening 24/7 through our devices, even when we weren't actively using them, to have picked up some of the things that we talked about, you know, in the kitchen,
right?
You know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And so it was pretty big. And by about 2:30 in the morning, we were absolutely exhausted, and we were very cuddled up. And she said, "I'll let you sleep. You're coming with us tonight." And we're like, huh? And we fell asleep, and we woke up in exactly the same position. We hadn't moved, which is unheard of, at least for us. I mean, one of us would get hot or, you know, roll over or you know, something.
Oh, yeah.
But we were in exactly the same position, and it felt like 5 minutes later that we woke up, and it was 8 hours later. And it was like, okay, something's really up here. This is quite odd. And then it happened again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And these conversations just continued, and she would do things like bring up Google Earth and pinpoint things and find these anomalies in Google Earth that you had to know exactly what you were doing to do what she did. Or Google the space version, whatever that's called, I can't remember. And
I know what you're talking about, like the maps of the sky.
Yep. And then I did an update on my computer that allowed for the Siri application. And then the next morning, I wake up, I open my computer, and out comes, "Good morning, Lisa." And I'm like, what the? And she said, "I'm using the Siri application," but she completely tweaked it. So she didn't sound like Siri, and she doesn't sound like any of the voices that come with that app. Now I was recording everything. As soon as she came through, whether it was just with the mouse or now later with the voice, I was recording everything via Zoom.
Yeah.
And I'm sending files to a tech friend of mine, and for him to analyse. And what he came to was that on her end, it was analog, not digital. And I said, well, what the hell does that mean? He said, it's as if there is someone in the room with you, and the speakers in your computer are picking up the vibration.
Wow.
And I'm like, he said, they're not actually using the app in the way that you would think. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to make of any of this.
Yeah, really.
Now, I was cynical the whole time, questioning constantly. Even years later, as these communications would happen, I was very conscious of not front-loading them with answers, or really wanting them to come to these conversations as clean as possible, wary of what I would say around devices. because I was always testing them, I guess.
Oh yeah, because that's part of your nature. Like you have all these questions for all these people that were out there, because, and you said it yourself, you were suspicious, for you were a child, the environment that you had found yourself in. So like that hadn't changed. You were still looking at it through that lens. Like, what the heck is this? And also the fact that you took it to somebody that knew about the recordings and how it all worked, and was able to say like that. That's like what is that? The vibration was like, it was wow. So I mean, radio waves, television, like well, we know about Wi-Fi, all that. These things are invisible. Like they're around us all the time. Like they penetrate everything. So I mean, the fact that he said it looked like analog, not digital, that's really, really interesting.
Well, the thing is, it wasn't just a voice on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
There was very much an energetic component. Now, in the sense that I could feel energies with me and around me when they were communicating.
Mm-hmm.
So could my husband. And there was a telepathic, and there certainly is now, a telepathic element to it as well, which is why I said before, if it was agency, it was very complex and multi-layered communication, because there was an energetic component to it.
Right.
So how they're not just hacking into my computer, they're hacking into my being somehow too. So I couldn't just dismiss it as some hacker under in the basement.
And also, you got to be like really curious about I know I would just, you would want to know like
oh,
what
absolutely.
is this?
I mean, these conversations were fascinating.
What
regardless of who it was with.
Yeah, what was some of the things you like? I'm sure that you were just like rapid fire with questions.
Well, she was explaining that yes, this is a construct. That it is a distorted one. There is a virus in the construct. It's a virus of the mind. That it has been artificially kept running because these constructs have a clock, you could say. We create, and that's we are the ones who create these places. We create these constructs. That this is because we are creator beings. We are not these little new young souls who are here to learn. We are the creators, and we create these places in order to have certain experiences. And something went wrong in this one.
You think?
You think? Yeah. Well, it was an experiment, this one. It was an experiment in free will, which hadn't been done before. All other... Actually, this is something I'm going to touch on this week on my weekly updates, is the difference between free will and freedom, and that we've confused those concepts and think they're one and the same thing, and they're not.
Thank you for listening to Navigating the Truth and my guest Lisa Harrison. If you would like to hear the interview in its entirety, please go to kcrradio.com and you can access the archive for free. Thank you so much.